received a thank you card in the mail. Handwritten. Beautiful stationery with little roses on it. And inside, in perfect cursive, it said, "Thank you for raising such a wonderful man. He's everything I could have ever wanted." It was addressed to me, from my husband's coworker, the woman he swore was just a friend. And ladies, that card was the best thing that ever happened to me, because it gave me everything I needed. Grab your wine, settle in, because this story has receipts, revenge, and the most satisfying ending I could have ever written for myself. Let me take you back to where this started. My name is Jade. Well, that's what we'll call me. And 5 years ago, I married my college sweetheart, Marcus. We met junior year in an economics class, bonded over our mutual hatred of group projects, and by senior year, we were inseparable. He was charming, funny, the kind of guy who remembered your coffee order and would surprise you with flowers on random Tuesdays. My friends loved him. My mom adored him. He was, by all accounts, a catch. We got married at 26 in a small ceremony at his grandmother's vineyard. I wore my mother's veil. He cried when he saw me walk down the aisle. It was perfect. For the first 3 years, we were that annoying couple. You know the type. Always holding hands, finishing each other's sentences, planning our future, the house, the kids, the golden retriever named Biscuit. But somewhere around year 4, something shifted. And if you're a woman who's been through this, you know exactly what I mean. It wasn't one big thing. It was 1,000 tiny things that my gut started collecting like evidence. It started with his phone. Marcus had never been secretive about his phone. I knew his passcode. It was our anniversary date. He'd leave it on the kitchen counter while he showered. I could pick it up to check the weather, and he wouldn't even blink. But suddenly, the phone was always face down, always on silent, always with him. I told myself I was being paranoid. We'd been together 7 years total. People change their habits. It's normal. Then came the work wife. Her name was Elena. She started at his company about 8 months before the card incident. Marcus mentioned her casually at first. "Elena brought donuts today." Elena had the funniest joke at the meeting. Elena and I grabbed lunch to prep for the client pitch. Elena, Elena, Elena. If I had $1 for every time I heard that name, I could have paid for my divorce lawyer in cash. I asked to meet her multiple times. "Oh, she's super busy." Work events aren't really her thing. "She's kind of shy, babe. She'd feel weird." Red flag number 47. But the biggest red flag? The one that should have made me pack my bags right then? He stopped touching me. Not in a dramatic way. Not in a, "we had a fight, and he's sleeping on the couch" way. Just gradually. The random hugs from behind while I cooked dinner disappeared. The kisses became pecks. The intimacy became obligatory, scheduled, and honestly, it felt like he was somewhere else entirely. I asked him about it once, just once. "Babe, are we okay? You seem distant." And he looked at me with this expression, I'll never forget it, like I was being ridiculous, like I was a child asking a silly question. "I'm just stressed with work, Jade. Not everything is about our relationship." Ladies, trust your gut. Always trust your gut. Because my gut was doing backflips trying to warn me. I wish I could say I confronted him right then, that I demanded answers and stood my ground. But I didn't, because I had no proof. And I'd been gaslit just enough times to doubt my own instincts. So I did what any self-respecting millennial woman would do. I became a detective. I'm not proud of this, but I'm not ashamed either. When you're married to someone and they're acting shady, you have a right to know what's happening in your own life. First, I checked our phone bill. I have access to our account. We'd always been transparent about finances. And there it was. Hundreds of texts to one number, late at night, or early in the morning, during work hours that were supposedly so busy he couldn't even text me back. I did a reverse lookup. The number belonged to Elena. My hands were shaking as I scrolled through page after page. The call log showed hour-long conversations at 11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m., while I was sleeping in our bed. Alone. But here's the thing. Text logs and call logs don't show content. I still didn't have proof, just circumstances. So I waited and watched. I noticed he started working late every Tuesday and Thursday, like clockwork. He'd text me around 6 p.m. Big project, don't wait up. And he'd roll in around 10 or 11, shower immediately, and climb into bed smelling like hotel soap instead of his usual cologne. Hotel soap. Ladies, hotel soap. One Thursday, I decided to take a chance. His office was downtown, about 30 minutes from our house. I told him I was having dinner with my friend Mia. I wasn't. And I parked across the street from his building at 5:45 p.m. At 6:02, he walked out. With her. She was pretty. Of course she was. Tall, dark hair, this effortless style that made me feel frumpy in my work blazer and messy bun. They were laughing. He had his hand on her lower back. That intimate, possessive gesture he used to do with me. They walked 3 blocks to a boutique hotel. I watched them go inside together. I sat in my car for 45 minutes. Crying. Rage cleaning my purse for some reason. Texting Mia a string of messages that were probably incoherent. But I didn't confront him. Not yet. Because I wanted more than suspicion. I wanted him to have no escape route. 2 weeks later, the card arrived. I was working from home that day. I grabbed the mail during my lunch break. Bills, a catalog, junk, and this beautiful cream envelope with roses on it. Handwritten. Addressed to me. I assumed it was a late thank you from a wedding we'd attended. Or maybe a baby shower invite. I opened it at the kitchen counter, with a yogurt in my other hand. Dear Jade, thank you for raising such a wonderful man. Marcus has told me so much about your marriage, and I understand now why he needed to find happiness elsewhere. You gave him a foundation, but I'm giving him a future. I hope you understand that some loves are just meant to be. I'm sorry it has to be this way, but I wanted you to hear it from me. Woman to woman, before things go further. He's filing for divorce next month. I thought you deserved to know. Warmly, Elena. I read it 3 times. Then I laughed. This woman, this audacious woman, had the nerve to send me a thank you card for my own husband. Like I was his starter wife, his training wheels. Like I'd done the hard work of turning him into a functional adult so she could enjoy the finished product. Thank you for raising him. Raising him? Ma'am, I am not his mother. I was his wife. And the fact that you think you're getting some prize? Baby girl, you're getting a cheater. That's what you're getting. A man who lies to the woman he made vows to. And if he'll do it with you, he'll do it to you. But here's the thing. She made one critical mistake. She put everything in writing. Admitted the affair. Admitted he was planning to divorce me. Gave me a timeline. That card became Exhibit A. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't throw his clothes on the lawn like I desperately wanted to. Instead, I called Mia. Then I called my sister. Then I called a divorce lawyer. Within 48 hours, I had a plan. See, what Marcus didn't know was that I'd been the primary earner for the last 2 years. My marketing director salary was nearly double his middle management paycheck. I'd also inherited money from my grandmother that I'd kept in a separate account. Money that, in our state, was considered separate property. What Marcus also didn't know was that I'd been documenting everything. The phone records, the hotel receipt I'd found in his jacket pocket, a screenshot of Elena's Instagram where she'd posted a photo of dinner with my love, and you could clearly see Marcus's hand, with his wedding ring, holding a wine glass in the corner. Oh, and the card. The beautiful, idiotic, handwritten confession of a card. My lawyer nearly cried with joy. The night I confronted him, I was calm. Eerily calm. I'd made his favorite dinner. I know, dramatic, but I wanted the full effect. He came home at 7 p.m. Normal time for once, probably because he sensed something was off. Men always know when the vibe shifts, even if they pretend they don't. Hey, babe. Hey, smells amazing. He kissed my cheek. I didn't flinch. Sit down. We need to talk. His face flickered, just for a second, that micro-expression of someone who knows they're about to get caught. What's going on? I slid the card across the table. He picked it up, read it. and I watched the color drain from his face in real time. Jade, I can explain. No. I held up my hand. You can't, because there's nothing to explain. You've been sleeping with Elena for at least 6 months. You've been lying to me about work projects while taking her to hotels on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and apparently you were planning to divorce me next month. That's not... She's crazy. I never said... Marcus. I leaned forward. She sent me a card, a thank you card, for raising you. So either you've been telling her that our marriage is over and you're leaving me, or she's delusional and you've been leading her on while also cheating on me. Which is it? He sat there, mouth opening and closing like a fish. Both options make you the villain, I continued. So save your excuses. I've already contacted a lawyer. You'll be served by the end of the week. And ladies? I got up, grabbed my pre-packed overnight bag from the closet, and walked out of my own home with my head held high. Mia was waiting in the driveway. We went to her place, drank 2 bottles of wine, ugly cried, and planned the rest of my life. The divorce was messy, but not in the way he expected. Marcus tried everything. He tried to claim I abandoned him because I left that night. My lawyer shut that down with the evidence of his affair. He tried to claim the inheritance money was marital property. Nope. Separate account, never commingled. Nice try. He tried to get alimony from me because I earned more. The judge took one look at the evidence of his infidelity, including that precious card, and denied it. Elena, by the way, she stood by her man for exactly 3 months, until she found out that Marcus had also been texting his ex-girlfriend the entire time he was with Elena. Turns out, I wasn't the only one he was lying to. She was just the loudest side piece. She dumped him via Instagram story, called him a narcissist and serial cheater in a post that got over 2,000 likes. Mia and I may have shared it, allegedly. But here's what I wasn't prepared for: the grief. Even when you know you made the right decision, even when you have proof that your husband was a lying, cheating, gaslighting, manipulating waste of 7 years, you still grieve. You grieve the future you planned, the kids you imagined, the person you thought he was. I spent 3 months in therapy unpacking it all. Why I ignored the red flags. Why I doubted myself. Why I let crazy and dramatic silence my instincts. And what I learned was this: I wasn't crazy. I was conditioned. Conditioned to minimize my feelings, to keep the peace, to be the cool girl who didn't make a fuss about her husband's work wife. Never again. That was 18 months ago. Today? I'm writing this from my new apartment, a gorgeous 1-bedroom with floor-to-ceiling windows and a kitchen I actually enjoy cooking in. I got a promotion at work. I started running again. I adopted a cat named Audrey who judges me lovingly from across the room while I type this. And 3 months ago, I started dating again. His name is Derek. He's a pediatric nurse. He brings me coffee without me asking, and he's never once made me feel crazy for having feelings. It's early. I'm cautious. But for the first time in years, I trust myself to recognize the difference between a partner and a project. As for Marcus, last I heard, he's still single, living in a studio apartment downtown. His mom called me once. I blocked her after, to ask if I'd consider taking him back because he's really struggling. Ma'am, your son sent another woman to our home via thank you card to tell me she was taking him. He can struggle. And Elena? She reached out to me about 6 months after everything went down. A DM on Instagram. She apologized, said she had no idea he was lying to both of us, that she genuinely believed our marriage was over when they started. I didn't respond. Not out of anger, I just had nothing to say. She was another victim of the same man, just from a different angle. But I will say this. Ladies, we gotta stop seeing each other as competition for mediocre men. Elena should have come to me first when Marcus started telling tales about his marriage. I should have trusted my gut instead of assuming I was paranoid. We both deserved better than him. So here's what I want you to take from this story. Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. You're not crazy. You're not dramatic. You're not too sensitive. You are a woman with instincts that have been honed over thousands of years of evolution, and those instincts are screaming at you for a reason. Don't let anyone, not a partner, not a friend, not society, convince you that your feelings don't matter, that you're making something out of nothing, that you should just relax and be cool. You deserve someone who makes you feel secure, who doesn't give you reasons to worry, who shows up for you every single day, not just when it's convenient. And if they don't, if they lie, cheat, gaslight, or dismiss you, leave, lawyer up, level up. And if their side piece is dumb enough to send you a handwritten confession, frame it and hang it in your new apartment as a reminder of the trash you took out. Thank you for listening to my story. If you're going through something similar, know that you're not alone. Know that there's life, beautiful life, on the other side. And to the woman reading this who's sitting in her car, crying after finding something on his phone, I see you, I was you, and I promise you, it gets better. Leave the trash behind, ladies. If this story resonated with you, drop a comment below. Tell me what you would have done. And if you have a story you want to share, the community wants to hear it. Until next time.